Sacking the bishop? Wait, this is diabolical. He just sacked the bishop for a ham sandwich. Oh my word, he saw a ham sandwich and he said here, and gave him the bishop. Oh my word. Harsh poo. Was that a blunder or a brilliant? Time will tell here shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Full Strive Chess Tournament. We have an absolute killer tournament in store for you today. We have a lot of returning faces, some former champions, and everybody looking to engrave their name in the Full Strive Chess Tournament history books as the champion of our Full Strive Chess Tournament here today. This is going to be an absolute clash of titans. So do not go anywhere, y'all. Go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's get right into that first chess game. And we are underway for game one of the Full Strive Chess Tournament between Mongo and Harshpoo. Harshpoo with a differentchess.com username representing the Indian flag, and Mongo 007 representing the American United States flag. So far, we have an e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6 on the board. And we have a Vienna game, Falkbeer, Vienna gambit. And usually some players will take this pawn. I personally absolutely hate taking that pawn because it just looks so spooky and scary, but Mongo, with no regard, strikes in the center, and Harshpoo wasting no time, taking this pawn right back. This position is going to get very dicey, very, very fast. Both players need to be sharp and cunning. The queen now slides out here to f3. Mongo vouches to take the knight here. And Harshpoo takes with the pawn. I feel like a lot of players would have taken with the queen because you obviously don't want to double your pawns, but in this structure, it is low-key a little bit better. Because this pawn's not going to be very easily accessible for black in this spot. We now see d4 played on the board here, and we no longer have the eval bar on screen as well, so we are all going to be watching and just assuming that positions are cooked, if they are. And oh my god, we see bishop d3! A very basic developing move here from Harshpoo. Mongo now develops the knight here to c6. We see a knight development here to e2 played by Harshpoo. Mongo pushes the pawn forward, and it looks like white's going to castle here. Yes, they do. And now there is a big, giant, massive amount of pressure coming down on this square. Mongo could castle here. I feel like castling would be the best move here. I also like... okay, that move is okay. Honestly, yeah, Mongo needs to be careful, though, because if you push the bishop here at all, like, this is coming. Like, that's coming, and there's no stopping that. And also, the queen's going to get that after the king slides over. So Mongo does have to be careful here. Harshpoo now moves the bishop forward to f4, bishop forward to f4 after using a little bit of time. And I will remind you all as well, this is a 3-minute blitz game with 2 seconds of added bonus time. So every time a player makes a move, they get 2 seconds of added bonus time. Now Mongo is going to be taking a little bit of a think here, as he should. We are in the middle game now, and there is a lot of pieces and stuff happening in this spot, and he needs to calibrate a winning spot here. Castle's queenside. I don't personally know if I like that too much, mainly for the fact that the rook gets over here. But, I mean, Mongo took a little bit of time, and I feel like it's principled. He also beat me in our Full Strive event yesterday, so it's likely this could still be a good move because I genuinely probably don't really know what I'm talking about because Mongo beat me pretty badly yesterday. Bishop now slides forward here to b5, and the queen's under fire, so you could probably either push this pawn. Yeah, I feel like that's okay. Pushing the pawn there. I honestly wonder if you could eventually move the knight here, and if bishop takes, you go here, stop these pawns from pushing. And that's exactly what Mongo does. Okay, so that's what I would have played, honestly. Watch the eval bar sets is probably like plus like 300 for black somehow. And we just don't see it. Rook now slides forward here. Looks like he's trying to double the rooks here. Pressure is mounting on this side of the board. I honestly feel like a little... striking with the pawn. Oh... Okay, so the bishop slides all the way back, and this knight is so incredibly powerful. White has not taken this knight, and I'm genuinely kind of like shocked they haven't yet. Now Mongo is putting pressure on the G and H files, trying to create havoc coming down this side of the board, forcing White to make a mistake and blunder in this spot. But there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Mongo has used a lot more time than Harshpoo, but Harshpoo now taking a little bit of a think here. He is now approaching 2 minutes on his clock. He needs to calibrate a solid move in this spot here. This is a very important move here, and I feel like this could be a deciding factor, potentially. The bishop now takes the knight here. Honestly, I like that move. I do think that move is reasonable. The pawn is forced to take back here, attacking the rook. The rook cannot slide forward, actually, because the bishop is coming here. I was going to say slide forward, but you may have to slide back, although when you do slide back, you also block this bishop from coming in here. So a lot of different things happening here. I don't know why Mongo's thinking here, but taking the bishop back is low-key a snap take, in my opinion. Also, you could probably slide the queen up here now, too. Slide the queen up here, maybe, and yeah, if the queen takes, you just take back, and then you're honestly loving life if you're Mongo right now. I feel like pushing the queen forward here to d5 is a good move, in my opinion. Sliding the rook over here, though, that's a reasonable move, too, I feel like, to put a little more defense on this pawn. Now, yeah, so White's plan to double the rooks is now foiled. So like I said, the rook was forced to come back, otherwise it had to go here and block the bishop out. So the bishop still can get out here, but like obviously not right now because the bishop is obviously still sniping here. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening here in this spot. Harshbu now approaching Mongo's current total time as well. Both players have less than 1:20 on their clock. So we are coming down to the wire here, and it's very, very likely in this game we are going to see a bullet scramble, or I should say a low time control scramble. The bishop now comes out here, sacking the bishop? Wait, this is diabolical. He just sacked the bishop for a ham sandwich. Oh my word, he saw a ham sandwich and he said here, and gave him the bishop. Oh my word. Harshbu, was that a blunder or a brilliant? Time will tell here shortly. Mongo now very correctly slides the bishop up here, putting pressure on this pawn. I imagine that Mongo will probably try to slide his rook over here now and try and just maintain and put more pressure on here. Anytime this knight moves, the rook will be coming in here hot if it can get on the g8 square. Mongo with a two-piece material advantage as it currently stands. We saw a bishop exchange for a pawn. Bishops are 3 pieces, or worth 3 points. Pawns are worth 1 point. Mongo is in the driver's seat. But how does this one end? There are still a lot of things that need to happen and go correctly for Mongo to finish this game off in style. The knight now slides over here, and I honestly didn't really like that bishop sliding back here to e6, personally. I feel like you should have just gone ahead and slid the rook over. Obviously, maybe not that rook, maybe this rook. It was one of those two rooks. There's a correct move in that spot as far as that goes, because the rook positioning is very important in this spot. Mongo now with 20 seconds on his clock. Oh my gosh, he is running very low on time right now. And if en passant is played, you can just take with the bishop. You can take with the bishop. Taking with the bishop is A-okay. But he takes with the rook. Oh my god. Oh my god. And Mongo now with 17 seconds on his clock, and he blunders the queen! The bishop's gonna take back. The rook's gonna take, and we're probably gonna see another rook exchange of the rooks. And now Harshbu is in the lead as it stands. And now a bishop is blundered off the board, and there's no stopping this. This just checkmate throw without blocking the queen, and Mongo resides in this spot. Mongo with a absolute collapse in crunch time. A brutal sequence leads to Harshbu advancing to the next round of the Full Strive Chess Tournament. Congratulations, Harshbu. You are moving on. Everybody in the stream chat, tell Mongo GG's right now. And we are underway for Game 2 of the Full Strive Chess Tournament between two very solid and decorated players in our Full Strive Chess Tournament. We have Chess Leveling playing with the black pieces, Explore Chess playing with the white pieces, and we have the most solid, brilliant, excellent opening in all of chess. The Caro-Kann in all of its glory. It is by far the most powerful opening. Every single top grandmaster to ever plays this opening every single time. It is amazing. I highly recommend you all play it. But that is incorrect there. You needed to take the pawn there. But it's all good. It's all good. The Caro-Kann is still beautiful. Anyways, we have a Caro-Kann 2 knights attack. Actually, no, that was fine. That was a variation. Bishop now slides back out here to put some pressure on this knight here. The knight now slides over here. The queen is still covering here, so you don't got to worry about that just yet. Now black does have to account for this bishop here, so the bishop is going to have to slide back here. Oh, dude, it's so beautiful. I love seeing the Caro-Kann, dude. Dude, you guys get bonus points every time you play the Caro-Kann, just saying. Free bonus points in Full Strive Chess Tournament. Bishop now slides down here, attacking the knight. I honestly feel like a pawn push here is valid. Yes, it is. H3 now played. And anytime the bishop takes, you obviously take with the queen. The bishop is still covering here, so this queen cannot take this pawn. And if I'm being completely honest, it genuinely looks like white will have a lot better development here. And a quick exchange of the pieces, just like I said. And if I'm white after this, I'm probably trying to get my bishop into the game, and probably after that pushing here and then castling. And if I'm black, I'm probably going to be playing, yes, I like that move, get the bishop some space, and then maybe knight here. I usually like playing this move first, personally, so I stop the bishop from getting in here, but genuinely speaking, I feel like it could go either way. The engine hates this move usually, but who cares? We're here to win here today. So yeah, the knight develops out here. Now, I believe, if I am not mistaken, that white should push this pawn here and then push here. I think that's more than reasonable. Alright, so the pawn pushes forward here to d3. I imagine bishop could come in here. If bishop comes in here with check, I feel like that just loses the tempo because he pushed the pawn forward. I feel like that would be a negating move here for black in this position. So the bishop slides up here. I think that's stop engine move. And black is now free to castle, and white is also free not to castle. And white goes ahead and slides the bishop up here, pinning the knight to the queen. And this spot, actually no. So now, ooh, good recognition there from black. Because if black were to castle here, bishop takes, queen takes, and the pawn structure is damaged and the king's exposed. So good recognition there from Explore Chess. Nicely done there. Good technique there. Although the bishop is now uncovered, so you got to be wary of that. Obviously not a threat currently, but you just got to have that in the back of your mind. White goes ahead and castles now. White doing very well with time management, as is black. And this is and they do get 2 seconds of bonus time every time they do make a move. We have had so many time struggles in the past, so both players need to be sharp in cunning. Ooh, and ooh. You cannot take here. You cannot take here because black's going to take with check. You cannot take here. Do not take that knight. Do not take that knight. I know he's thinking about it. Slides the queen down. Good. Oh, about had a heart attack. All right. So queen slides down. Knight is still pinned to the queen, by the way. And also, if this pawn pushes, like I just said, or a second ago, the bishop is forced to take here or come back. Black now castles here, so the king is now safe. Ooh, and this is actually kind of crazy. You have to slide the queen up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. No. The queen's off the board. What are you doing? Rook takes back. And Explore Chess has a massive lead right now. After a very, very horrendous and catastrophic blunder made by chess leveling. The rook now slides forward. Bishop's just going to go ahead and get material off the board, as you rightfully should. Queen is coming in now. The rook takes the pawn. Slide the queen over. Attack this rook. No, slide the queen up. Oh my gosh. A catastrophic turn of events has led to chess leveling being down a queen. Rook now slides over. You don't even care. Take the pawn. You don't even care. Take the pawn. Take the pawn. Don't even hesitate. And checkmate is coming. Checkmate is on the board. 22 moves it took. And Explore Chess will be moving on to the second round of the Full Strive Chess Tournament. And we are underway for Game 3 of the Full Strive Chess Tournament between Nick, a returning champion, and Supra, the 3-time champion. We have Rui Lopez played on the board here, and both players are playing very solid to open this game up. The bishop is now pinning the knight to the king. We see a pawn push here played by white, and there is a decision that needs to be made here. I believe you can either play a6 or take this pawn, although when you do take that pawn, it's a little scary because the knight's going to take back, and all heck is going to be unleashed. So a little spooky here. Okay, I think that's the best move here. I think that's the best move here from black. So nicely done here from Supra. And by the way, yeah, if I didn't already mention it, I probably did, and I'm just brain dead. Super black pieces, Nick white pieces. And we have a and Nick is going to be up a pawn, and Supra has a very damaged pawn structure. And Supra has now lost his right to castle. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick has the lead early. This pawn's also hanging, by the way. Oh my gosh, and a fork is hanging. Nick has the entire world in front of him right now. I think you gotta actually slide the king over. Bishop slides over. Knight's gonna take with check. Honestly, I think you need to go over here. And now Nick has 2 pieces of material as it currently stands. King slides over. I think that move makes sense. Super needs to keep as many pieces on the board now as he possibly can. He is on the ropes very early in this one on move 9. Nick playing a very solid opening to start this one. Super with a very slight misfortunate calculation, leading to a very crippling blunder of the pawn. Knight now moves up here to G6 here for Supra. And also, guys, I'm gonna do a $5 raffle at the end of this tournament, and anybody who leaves the stream is no longer allowed to be in the raffle. I'm gonna do a $5. Actually, no, I'm gonna do a gold membership raffle. So if you guys leave the stream, you're not gonna be in the raffle. Bishop now slides forward here to D6. And if I'm Nick, I'm just chopping down the position. I think Super moved that bishop up there, I guess, to try and just get development, but it blunders a fork in the process! Oh no, bro. Supra is not looking too hot right now. You cannot move this bishop. You cannot. At least right there. You can't go there. Oh, and that hangs the bishop in one move. Oh my gosh. It is destruction. Absolute destruction. But Nick does miss the free piece. Although he does get a piece in the process here. And the bishop's going to take back. And the position's already dead right now. Nick putting on an absolute masterclass right now. Nicely done here from Sir Nicholas. White now castles. Very principled. I feel like Supra's best bet is to maybe try and get the rook over here and try and get a pin of the pieces, perhaps. Which it looks like he's trying to do. Okay. Although that blunders a 4. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is tough. Oh, but white misses it. You gotta slide the king up now. No, it still blunders a 4. Oh, Super had the right idea, but it's to no avail. Because the rook's going to fall off the board, and now Nick has a +7 material advantage. Oh, no. This is great. This is rough. Do not go here. You have to go up here. Good job, Supra. Good job. Oh, crazy work, bro. Crazy work. And it looks like Supra's tournament run will be coming to an end early in this one. A very rare, I will say a very, very rare instance, Supra's tournament coming to an end early. Supra, one of our most decorated players in the entire full strive chess tournament format. History. Supra grabs the pawn. The rook's got to start doubling up now. Okay. Imagine if Supra was able to get over here and then here. That would be crazy. Rook slides over now. I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is your best bet now. King slides down to defend that pawn. A rook's going to check here, I imagine. I imagine a rook will check. And Nick just putting on an absolute masterclass of a game. Rook check played here now to b4. King slides up to c6. And we're on move 24. And Nick is completely and utterly winning this game, barring the craziest comeback we will have ever seen in the full strive chess tournament. But yeah, the bishop slides up here. Rook slides over. The rook's not going to take with check. Pawn pushes forward. I don't think you can do that. Yeah, this game's done said match. Props to Super though, fighting to the bitter end though. You got to respect the guy. Honor, respect, all the above for Supra. But at the end of the day, Nick played a much more solid game. Rook now slides down. Looks like he's trying to stack the rooks, I guess. Bishop slides up now. If Super somehow got a draw here, that would be actually insane. All right, bishop slides back. I honestly don't think Super should even bother taking the pawn, but he does. Bishop takes on c2, and now the rook comes in with check. King's forced to come down here because you can't go here because the rook's covering. My gosh. And Nick just phenomenal. Absolutely flawless form in this one. Credit where credit is due. Bishop now slides down. The attack is coming. I mean, if you slip, I don't even think that stops it, if I'm being honest. Super trying to calibrate something. Also, both players are down below 1 minute on their clock, too. Rook slides over to c8. Rook comes down, putting more pressure. And yeah, there's no stopping that. There's no stopping that attack. Yeah, because the rook's going to take, rook takes back, and the rook takes, and it's covered by the bishop, and the king's forced to slide down. Crazy stuff in this one. Very, very, very misfortunate opening play here from Supra. Bishop now slides back here to defend this pawn. Now Nick's going to start bringing the king in, and honestly, all Nick really has to do is start pushing P. Probably not that pawn, you'd lose that pawn, but Bishop now slides back. And also, this pawn's free. Good find here from Nick. King slides up. Check delivered by the rook on c7. King slides back. Cannot push that pawn just yet. Ooh, and now the bishop's pinned. King slides back down. Also, Nick has a little over 30 seconds on his clock. Ooh. Can Super start racing the pawns? Ooh. What do you slide the king up first? Oh my gosh, because that stops the pawn from pushing and the bishop's covered. I mean, the king's gonna get over in time. The pawn is pushing. Now the king's gonna start coming up. We see a push here. Oh no. And the bishop coolly and calmly comes down. Man. Honestly, you probably should have pushed there because you would have gotten a check on the king. King slides over now. Pawn pushes. The bishop's going to sack here, taking that pawn. And Nick is going to promote to a queen on the g8 square. And it will, in fact, be Nick who is going to win this match in the Full Strive Chess Tournament. Very nicely played here from Nick. Well done, my friend. All he has to do is a couple king moves and then pre-move the bishop. Or the queen. And on move 52, Super resigns in this position. And it will be Nick who is moving on to the next round of the Full Strive Chess Tournament. And we are underway for the final match of round 1 of the Full Strive Chess Tournament between Katie, a reigning and returning champion. Maybe not reigning, she's definitely a former champion. And Brutus, oh my word, and we have an Italian knight attack, Ponziani, Steinitz gambit. Oh, it is an absolute crazy sequence to start this one. I almost said slur, but I say slur too much. The pawn now strikes forward here. What on earth is this opening? Huh? Is the knight not just hanging? Is the knight not just hanging? What on earth? Oh, Katie didn't. Or Katie about to just take this pawn here. Yeah, that pawn had a pawn there. And Katie's in the lead early with a one-piece material advantage. I'm sure with in the current spacing situation that black has chances. Or white has chances. Honestly, I feel like white should take this knight here. What is happening here? This is actually crazy. The last move that was played was knight d4, and now Brutus is taking a little bit of a think here. Ooh. Brutus white pieces, Katie black pieces, by the way. Brutus has never won a Full Strive Chess Tournament. And Katie has him thinking for a very long time right now. Ooh. Oh, wait, that is actually crazy. The knight can't take here. Ooh! Because takes back and you get the queen. Oh! That's crazy. I wonder if a pawn push would be valid here. Nope, maybe not. Knight now slides back for Katie. Katie with absolute stellar calculation. This is a very tricky position, and Katie is doing a great job of calculating this so far. Although she does have double pawns now. And the queen falls off the board. And Brutus now has the lead after a very quick sequence. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Brutus said free sandwich? No. I will not take the free sandwich. I will instead calculate a winning calibration of moves and take the lead. Pawn takes back. Knight now develops here for Brutus. Katie is now playing down a knight. Katie is playing down a knight. Katie needs to keep pieces on the board. Oh my word, and Brutus coolly and calmly slides the king up here. What's crazy here too, I wonder if you could just straight up take here. Actually maybe not, because now this pawn, you probably just push here. Ideas. Ooh. Alright, so the knight slides over here. Now good job here from Brutus. Gosh, Brutus, well done here with the calculation here. Took a lot of time there to figure out that thing out, but he figured it out. And in the process took a two-piece lead in this game. Full Strive is glitching. F3 now played. And that is responded to by A6. Okay. Katie does have a little bit more time. Oh no! The bishop comes in, and the rook is going to collapse. The rook has bent the knee and falls. And now Brutus with a 4-piece advantage. Pawn push now here from Brutus. Katie pushing the pawn forward. We see takes. Oh, it is cruel. Oh, no. Pawn takes that way. Is that not? Check. King slides down. Oh, no, you go with the rook. Duh. Oh my gosh. Brutus is putting on an absolute masterclass of a performance. Oh my word. Katie, one of the most solid players in our Full Strive chess tournament, is looking like she's going to lose this game. Absolute insanity. You got to move the rook. You got to move the rook somewhere else. You can't give up the rook. The rook is down. Crippling. And Katie in this position resigns after 30 moves. Katie had an exquisite start to this game. Brutus fired every single shotgun caliber, anything weapon he had at his disposal at Katie's position, and it proved to work out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 2 of the Full Strive chess tournament, and we have the greatest and most spectacular opening to ever grace God's green earth, the Caro Kann 2 knights attack variation. Ooh, and now this line gets a little tricky. Usually your opponent will take here and you take back and you go here, but instead White slides the queen up here, and now Kitty Cat is crashing out. Kitty is very upset that Katie lost in the the first round of that Full Strive chess tournament. He is very distraught, but to no avail. Brutus doesn't care. He is moving on. But we don't even need to worry about that right now because we have a game on us right now. And Archbishop pushes the pawn forward. More than reasonable. Looks like he's honestly trying to maybe get the bishop up here. What that does do is block the bishop's line of sight up here, though, so that could prove troublesome down the stretch here. But there's a lot that needs to happen, and a lot that needs to go in exploring chess's favor to exploit this right here. I do believe that might have been a slight inaccuracy, though. I think you need to get the bishop out here first. And obviously, with that being said, if the knight takes here, knight g5. I've never seen that move in my entire life, and I play the Caro Kann 33 million times a week. Black castles. Oh no. What do you do here now? Oh, do you trade the queen? I feel like you can. Knight's gonna come back. Action. Ooh. Bishop's gonna come out. Ooh, an exploring chess. Doing very very well here. That was great tempo he just won. Okay. The knight comes in. This knight's under fire. Exploring chess needs to do something about this knight. Harshbu is playing very, very solid right now. And Kitty Cat continues to crash out. Bishop slides down here now to the c4 square, freeing up this pawn to push. Ooh, and now this pawn pushes. Very sneaky. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh my gosh, I think he could have trapped the bishop there. No, 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 pawn takes. I think you need to push this pawn down and try and give the bishop a scapegoat. Yeah, the bishop slides up here now, putting pressure down on this square over here on the g2 square and also this entire diagonal. This knight's pretty vulnerable right now, I'm not even gonna lie. Rook slides over here now for explore chess, and now the pawn pushes. And you cannot push here because you will lose a pawn. If I'm... This looks so scary for the bishop right now. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I feel like you really need... Ooh, now you have to push. Now you have to push. You have to push. Exploring chess has to push the pawn. Okay, that pawn works too. Just get a pawn up, give the bishop some breathing room. Good stuff here from Exploring Chess. And Harshby does a good job of moving the bishop up. And Exploring Chess wasting no time. Also, the knight's under fire, but it is still covered by the bishop here. So it is not hanging at this current moment. But he does slide the knight over here, putting a little bit more pressure on this pawn, and also threatening this square here, it looks like, and also this square. Obviously, the bishop is still covering all these squares along with the knight, but there is threats looming. If you want to win more chess games, instead of thinking, what pieces can I attack right here and now, you need to be thinking, what kind of threats can I maintain and keep on the board to force my opponent to make a mistake, inaccuracy, blunder, or miss. There are countless ways you could do this, but it is pivotal if you're trying to improve at chess that you apply this method to your madness. The knight now slides over here for Harshbu. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the bishop can come down here, probably? Oh no. Oh no! The pawn is hanging! And the pawn has fallen off the board. And Harshbu leads this game on move 21 after a very frustrating blunder from Explore Chess. Oh my gosh, and now that blunders the knight. The knight is blundered. The knight is blundered. Harshbu! No way! Tragedy has struck! Harshbu appears to be on his way to the Full Stride Chess Championship final. It is devastating. Rook slides over. That blunders a pawn, though. Oh my gosh! And it does appear that Harshbu's going to win this game. And it looks like it's not going to be close either. Exploring Chess put on an absolute clinic of a response to the greatest opening in chess history. But when you play the best opening in chess history, it is very hard to come back and defeat it. Or very hard to defeat it, I should say. Rook now slides over here. Good technique here from Harshbu, doubling up the rooks. Honestly, you could probably just try and start getting material off the board. Obviously, you got to move the knight first here, though. Very important there. Good job here from Harshbu. Good recognition there. Both players are doing very solid with their time management, too, by the way. Exploring Chess does have a little bit less time on his clock, but... Ooh, and now you're going to try and get the rooks off the board. I honestly love it. I love it. Genuinely speaking, I feel like it'd be best to just go ahead and take here. And when the rook does take back here... Yes, okay, so good job from Exploring Chess. You slide the king forward here, and now the rook covers this entire rank, 7th rank. So nicely done here from Exploring Chess. He's trying to push his king forward here now, and ooh, and the threats are coming. The threats are coming. You're gonna see a quick take back here from Explore Chess. No, you're not. Oh my word! Exploring Chess is going for the throat. He wants to push his king all the way forward. This king has gone. No way. If he promotes here, it's checkmate. It will be checkmate. It will be a forced mate. No way, bro. Oh, and he sees it just in the nick of time. Good recognition here from Harshbu. Now the knight comes forward. And the knight can honestly probably just go there. Now pawn push here from Explore Chess. Oh, Explore Chess had it. He had an opportunity there. Harshbu does have to be careful, though, because if the rook ever moves forward, it will be a forced mate. Okay, good job. I honestly feel like that's very well done here. Very nicely timed. I feel like you slide your king forward. Ooh, no, he takes the pawn. All right. Honestly, I feel like Harshbu all he has to do is push this knight forward here. And if the rook takes, you're going to promote. And if the rook doesn't take... This pawn's going to promote and you have to sack the rook. Harshbu Solid, excellent stuff in this one. Appears to be moving on to his first ever full strive chess tournament championship match. The pawn continues to push. And the rook is also covered by the king, so there's no getting in. And with 35 seconds on Exploring Chess's clock, it looks like defeat is inevitable. I just wonder if you should go here straight away. 25 seconds on Exploring Chess's clock. Pawn continues to push. Rook comes down. You honestly can just promote. Pawn's going to push here. It looks like he's trying to look for a threat, but honestly the king has another scapegoat too. Oh my. And checkmate will be looming here in just a few moves, and it will be Harshpu, barring the craziest sequence. But it does not look like it's going to go that way for Exploring Chess. Harshpu, once again, I will say it one final time, putting on an absolute masterclass of a game with the Carl Khan. And very solid technique with the checkmate here. And I will say this right here, right now, on move 51, Harshpu promotes to a rook. On move 52, Harshpu delivers checkmate with the rook on c1, defeating Exploring Chess and ending his run in this chess tournament. Harshpu advancing to his first ever full strive chess tournament final match to face off against either Brutus or Nick. And ladies and gentlemen, we are underway for the final match of round 2 of the full strive chess tournament between Nick and Brutus. Nick, a returning and former full strive chess tournament champion, facing off against a player who suffered one of the most immense heartbreaks in full strive chess tournament history, losing the final match to Super in a few tournaments ago. And both of these players are looking to etch their names in the history books as the champion of this one. But who will it be? You're going to have to wait and see. Nick with the black pieces, Brutus playing with the white pieces, and we have a very solid Sicilian defense delayed Alpine variation played on the board. The bishop now slides back here, and Brutus does a really good job of sliding his bishop up here. Nick also does a good job of sliding his bishop up here to the e7 square. We might see castles here probably here shortly, and also castles this way would probably be more than reasonable. And, oh, we see a knight development here. Okay, yeah, knights can move this way now, by the way, guys. Did you ever know that? Knights can go that way. Anyways, we see castles. The knight now develops here to the c6 square. Good stuff here. Good development. Both these players playing very solid out of this opening. White, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like I like White's position slightly better. Slightly. And I mean slightly. Taking with the knight here. Ooh. But you got to make sure you do the correct exchange here. You got to do the correct exchange. A pre-move! Proves catastrophic to Brutus! Oh my goodness. I am at the complete loss of words right now. Wow. The pre-move of death. Oh no. Brutal. And Brutus and his tournament run comes to a screeching halt after a resignation on move 12 after the most catastrophic and insanely brutal, no pun intended, brutal sequence I have ever seen him. I don't think I've ever seen somebody lose to a pre-move. That might be a first. That actually might be a first. Or lose because of a pre-move, I should say. And, folks, we are underway for the championship match of the Full Strive Chess Tournament between two very solid players. Nick, a former champion, Harshbu playing in his first ever Full Strive Chess Championship. But we can only crown one winner in this format, and this game is going to decide who is going to be our victor. We have Harshpu playing with the white pieces, Nick representing the black pieces, Harshpu representing the Indian flag, and Mr. Nick representing the United States American flag. Who is going to win this one? We see a c5 push here on the board here now. This is the Queen's Pawn opening accelerated London system. In the London system, it's very, very tricky as far as what you should do with this pawn. I honestly feel like it's best to just let the pawns look at each other. And like eventually, I feel like a move like this would be reasonable eventually, or here in a moment too. Yeah, so Harshbu takes the pawn here. That's more than reasonable. The bishop now slides up here. And good job from... Or wait, I'm getting the names backwards. Nick slides the bishop up here. Harshbu brings the bishop down here now to e2. And I do believe... Ooh, we see a quick exchange. Oh my word. And now the pawn just goes flying forward on a catapult. You ever see those horse memes where it's like the picture of the catapult and it's like pawn, knight, and chess? Pawn strikes forward, forcing the bishop back. And what move do you play next here as black striking a little further into the white position? White is up a pawn right now, but it could get taken back really quickly like that. So it looks like it's a pretty even position right now. I honestly feel like black has the initiative here, if I had to be completely honest and guess a winner in this position as it currently stands. Genuinely speaking, you don't want to slide the bishop down here because I believe this pawn would hang. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that pawn would hang. If I'm not mistaken, according to my calculations, I do believe the pawn... Ooh, pushing the pawn forward here now. Wow. Wow. Because after takes... I believe you can go here, no? Yeah, you just take with the bishop, no? Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So we see a little take there. A little takesy take here from Harshbu. And Nick takes back with the knight. Okay. We got a knight on d4. It's literally pointing a sniper rifle at like half the white position right now. Yes, it's pointing at that pawn too. Ooh. Okay. Harshpu does need to be extremely cautious here. His position, or let me rephrase that. Nick needs to be extremely cautious here because there are a lot of pieces that just look extremely awkward for no reason in this spot. Now, everything is covered and everything is safe currently. But as the game progresses, that's something he's going to have to keep in mind as we progress. Now, the bishop slides back here for Mr. Harshbu. And Nick is also a little bit lower on time, too. I wanted to point that out real quick. Nick now below 2 minutes on his clock. Harshbu doing stellar. Absolutely phenomenal with his clock management so far. And Nick's doing a good job, too. But in the middle game, typically you do want to use a little bit more time, especially when you're a little bit confused on what kind of spot you're looking at here. I do feel like Nick, barring the correct moves, is much better in this spot. If I had to... I shouldn't say much better. Doing a little bit better as far as positioning goes in this current spot. Now the knight comes in. I believe you should probably just take here. I think taking here is okay. The bishop's going to take back, and then you probably slide the rook over here, maybe. I think that's fine. Oh my word! And there's an absolute glaze fest in the chat once again by Captain Bill. If y'all don't know Captain Bill on our Discord server, he is a professional glazer. He actually majored in college in professional glazing. Very, very, very top tier glazer. If you ever need a glazer, I would hit up Captain Bill. Anyways, we see bishop takes on d5 here now played. And yeah, the rook's under fire. You do have to move the rook. Well done here from Nick. He did use a little bit of time, though. I feel like that move was an absolute default move. Although I guess you did have to think about the bishop coming in here and some other threats. Oh no. And now Harshbu takes the pawn on e4. Ladies and gentlemen, Harshbu has the lead, both in material and on time. Is this the moment where Harshbu does it, finishes the game off, and wins this chess tournament? Nick using all of his time to think of a knight blunder. Excellent stuff, but it is not a blunder because it is our discovered attack on the queen. Ooh, the tactics are otherworldly, but it is to no avail because now the queen is coming. You have to put G6, 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 G6. G6, G6, G6. You have to play G6. Oh my word, and Nick is using all of his time. This is giving me anxiety. Pawn pushes here, G6. Like we just stated. I'm losing years off my life watching Nick play right now because it took him 30 seconds to play pawn to G6. I mean, to be fair, I'd probably freeze up too. Do you take the knight, the rook here? The bishop's coming in here now. I think you could just push the pawn. I think that's okay. Although even when that happens too, you do have this coming in too. Ooh, there's a lot happening in this position. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is not over, and Nick is officially in the red. He needs to play with the most pace he has ever played with in his entire life. Nick currently up one piece of material as it currently stands. But he does not have much time. He needs to play faster than he has ever played in his entire life. The queen now slides back here to h4. Well done here from Harshbu. Nick delivers the back break checkmate on d1 on move 23. Harshbu had the world, the entire world, and a tuna sandwich to go on top. But after a brutal sequence of moves, you needed to bring the queen back. Blunders and checkmate is delivered by Nick on move 23. Oh, it is an absolute heartbreaker. An absolute heartbreaker in this one. GG's to both players. And congratulations, Nick, on your second ever Full Strive Chess Tournament Championship win. Everybody tell Harshbu GG's in the chat right now.